Human Trafficking by Maria Zacarias. So what is human trafficking? It is the action or practice of illegally transporting people from one country or area to another, typically for the purposes of forced labor or commercial sexual exploitation. So basically, it is the sale or trade of victims being forced to do labor or sex. So how is it done? Human trafficking is when a human trafficker, or someone who sells, trades victims of human trafficking, would kidnap or trick their victims in order to be able to capture them and sell or trade them. Usually they try to capture someone who looks vulnerable or like easy targets. So basically it could be anybody distracted or look weak to the trafficker in order for them to easily get their target. So who are the main victims? Victims can be anyone. Traffickers usually go for vulnerable or weak targets. Victims could be mostly women or children because they look like more easier targets, which means that it's easier for a trafficker to capture them as they are seen as weak or vulnerable. So what happens to the victims? Victims are usually forced to do labor or have sexual exploitations. Victims are sold, traded, and treated like slaves. Victims have to obey those who sell/buy them, or they have to face the consequences. So if a victim doesn't obey their orders, that means that they will either get abused or hurt. So what are the benefits to the traffickers? By selling and trading the innocent people, they benefit from this crime as they get money/profit. According to the Economics of Human Trafficking by Bailey Molly, human trafficking is estimated to generate around $150 billion annually. So that means a lot of money for the traffickers, which helps them a lot in a way. A story by one of these victims is by Carla Jacinto. She was a victim of human trafficking since the age of 5. She remembers being abused by her mother and other countless things. A number she wants us to remember is 43,200. That is the number of the many times she's been abused by her traffickers in the 4 years she calls the worst 4 years of her life. In those 4 years, she's become a prostitute, among other bad things. She's been called a whore and other things that she doesn't want to remember. But now she's becoming an advocate to help end human trafficking, which is a pretty good thing. How can we prevent human trafficking? There are many ways to help prevent or decrease the number of human trafficking cases. We can help by creating support groups, defend or identify victims on the spot. So if you see human trafficking occurring, we can help stop it by defending the victim. Or we could help promote the issue of human trafficking on social media and spread the word on how bad it is. Thank you so much for watching.